Good morning, practitioners. Welcome to our weekly Wednesday yoga practice. Go ahead and let's get started by coming to a seat on our mats. And as usual, you know I like to lift my hips a bit above my knees. I'm sitting on a little block today. Just makes it easier to lengthen the spine. Let's take just a moment and I don't know, a little bit of gratitude for yourself for showing up for a weekly yoga practice. Notice your practice space. Look around you. This is the world we create, right? And just kind of ground in for just a moment here. And then let's do our practice. Let's take our little fingertips and tap on the midline of the skull 5 or 6 times. And then bring your fingers down. Let's do a couple of taps on the temple. We can use all the fingers and tap on that masseter on the side of the face there. Let's use our knuckles. We can tap right below the nose, above the upper lip, below the lip, in the crook of the chin right here. A few little taps. Let's tap the side of our neck. And gently tap your sternum, your heart center, just waking it up here. Nice. Let's tap our legs all the way down, tap the feet. Just a little grounding practice to get us ready, because this really, our practice of yoga is about self-inquiry, about learning about your own body, your secret, the knowledge of our body. So that just kind of sets us up and get ready here. We're actually going to start today's practice with our breathing. So let's just gently close your eyes, or if you prefer, let your eyes just kind of go out of gaze on a point in front of you. And let's slow down our breathing. I invite you to inhale for a count of 4. Retain for a count of 2. And exhale for a count of 6. Again, inhaling for a count of 4. Retaining for a count of 2. Exhale for a count of 6. And continue that breathing pattern, or a slow breathing pattern that you like, for just a couple moments here. Remembering that this is a great way for us to access our vagus nerve through the breath. And that vagus nerve is the healing nerve in our body. It innervates so much throughout the cavity of our body. And by slowing our breath down, using that count, you'll slow down to about a count of 8 instead of 14 to 15, which would be normal. That activates your vagus nerve. Just continue with your slow breathing, just another moment here. And let's just gently release the breath. Just have a normal breath for just a moment. And let's practice this morning our alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana, with our Vishnu Mudra. Calm down, baby. All right, with our right hand, you can take Gyan Mudra, the index finger and thumb touch, just lightly rest that on the left thigh. Right hand will take Vishnu Mudra. We roll down the peace fingers and then use the thumb and the ring finger to close our nostrils. As we're practicing this, remember to really gently close your nostril. Don't need to press the nose real hard. You want to keep the airway nice and open. And today, as you're practicing this Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breath, Remember to also try to sense that the energy that you're moving with the breath as well, which will help to clear our Sushumna and our Ida and Pingala nadis, which are so important to us. Let's just take a cleansing inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale for a count of 4. Close the thumb. Exhale for a count of 8. Inhale for 4. Close the finger, open the thumb. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Close the thumb, open the finger. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Close the finger, open the thumb. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Close the thumb, open the finger. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Close the finger, open the thumb. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Close the thumb, open the finger. Exhale for 8. Release the hand, release the breath. Let's begin with a little bit of seated spinal movement. Drop the chin to the chest, and on an inhale, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, back down to center. Inhale, come to the left side, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, down to center. Continue this at your own pace for a few more rotations. And at the end of your next round, come back to a neutral seated position. Let's just look over the right shoulder, elongating the muscle structure on the left side of the neck. Relax that left shoulder down. On the next exhale, go ahead and bring your head, look over the left shoulder, elongating those muscles on the right side of the neck, and mindfully relaxing your right shoulder now. Excellent. Back to a neutral spine. Let's plant our right hand on the floor beside us. Lift the left arm up, reaching out of your hip, keeping the hip connected to the floor. Bringing the bicep closer to the ear if it feels good. Roll the heart up to the sky. Another big inhale here. And on the exhale, let's gently move over to the left side, plant the left hand. Right arm rises, keeping the right hip connected to the floor. Bringing the bicep close to the ear, roll the heart up to the sky. And on the next inhale, coming back up to a seat, let's just go right into a twist. Bring the left hand to the right thigh, right hand to the floor at the base of the spine. Inhale, make length in the spine. Exhale, gently look over the right shoulder. And just continue that breathing pattern. Take another big inhale on this side, and on the exhale, let's move ourselves to the opposite side. Left hand to the floor at the base of the spine, right hand to the left thigh. Gently looking over the left shoulder, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. And as you inhale, make space in the spine. All right, next exhale, let's come back to center. Let's do some big shoulder rolls to the back. 3 or 4 big shoulder rolls to the back. Now to the front. 3 or 4 rolls here. Very good. I'll come off my block now because we're going to do a little bit of hip work. If it works for you, you can come down to the floor as well. Coming to Baddha Konasana, we'll have the soles of our feet together. We're just going to let our legs, let gravity kind of take over here and pull the legs down to the side. You can flap your wings a little bit if you like. Okay, now let's straighten our left leg out in front of us, toes pointed up. You can see my foot is flexed there. Take the sole of the right foot and, like we would do with the tree pose, put it at the inside of the left thigh. And sitting on both of the sits bones, kind of turn your body and look towards that left leg. And let's inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, fold over the left leg, extending through the spine. You can bring the hand to the foot, the shin. Keep lots of length in the spine. Keep breathing. Activate the quads as if you're trying to pull your kneecap closer to your hip. Opening up the back of the left leg. Inhale real big, one more time into the back side of that left leg. And on the exhale, come back up to a seated position. And let's switch to the opposite side. Straighten out the right leg. The sole of the left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Go ahead and turn yourself so that you're actually facing that right leg. Arms come up overhead, extending, and exhale, folding. Don't have to fold too far here necessarily. Hands can come to the floor, the foot, the shin, the thigh. Really activate your quads again. Flex that foot. One more big inhale into the back of the leg, and then we will work our way up. Let's come to a tabletop position with a blanket under the knees for comfort, if you like that. Got my blocks up top too for our low lunges. And in our tabletop, go ahead and take yourself through some cat and cow. As you inhale, belly drops, the tail and the crown rise. Heart comes forward through the arms. Exhale, tail and crown drop to the floor, belly presses to the spine. And at your own breath, 3 or 4 more. There you go. And coming back to a neutral spine, let's go side to side. Let's look over the right shoulder and let's curve the right hip inward. Really making some nice space in the left side of our spine, opening up all those vertebrae. And coming over to the left side, curl the left hip over so you can maybe see it over your shoulder, making all that space on the right side of the spine. And then maybe just some natural movement back and forth. If it feels good here. Working out any of the little kinks. All right, coming to stillness, let's move our hands forward to the front of the mat into position for your down dog. Curl the toes and lift your hips, straighten the legs for your down dog here. You can straighten one leg and then the other. Bring the heels back. You don't necessarily have to touch the floor. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Nice. And on an inhale, look forward between your hands. And let's bring our left foot forward, setting it on the floor. Right knee comes down to the blanket or the mat. You might want your blocks here for our low lunge. Heart comes forward. Inhaling. We're just going to breathe here for just a moment. Remember to go ahead and flex that right glute to begin to open the front of the right hip. Okay, now a little bit of movement going into our half split. So let's take, on your next exhale, hips pull back, left foot flexes, quads engaged, pull that kneecap back. Keep a nice elongated spine. Inhale, let's come forward. We can do this with movement. Exhale, move back into the half split. Inhale, forward. Exhale, half split. Inhale, forward. And when you're done, let's bring our hands back down to the mat and step back into a down dog. Might feel a little bit uneven because one side's a little bit more ready for this right now than the other. So let's work our opposite side. Let's take that right leg, bring it all the way forward, set it down. Left knee comes to the mat for low lunge. Hands to your blocks or to the mat. Inhale, the heart comes forward. And then just taking a moment to remind ourselves about this position. Go ahead and use those left glutes to open up the front of the left hip. On your next exhale, let's begin a little bit of movement going into our half split. Hips pull back. Right foot flexes, right quads engaged to really extend the back of the right leg. Inhale forward. Exhaling back. A few more here. Getting our hips ready. And we'll come to a rest in a forward lunge. Let's take a collective inhale. The heart comes forward. And on the exhale, let's step forward to a forward fold. And in the forward fold, recall that the knees can be bent drastically. We would like our belly and our lower ribs on our upper thighs. As you inhale, hands come to the hips. Rise all the way, arms up overhead. Little bit of extension in the back might feel good here. Exhale, hands down to the heart center. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. As you inhale, bend at the knees, arms rise, sit back in your chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise halfway with a flat back. Lengthen the back of the legs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to hips, rising from the chest. Arms rise overhead, extension in the back. Exhale, hands down to the heart center. Breathing here. On the next inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhale into your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to hips. Rise to a stand. Arms rise up overhead. Exhale, hands down to the heart center. Nice. Let's do our Warrior One series that we did last week. I am going to move my blanket out of the way for this. If you need to clear your mat. And starting at the top of the mat, let's put our left foot in the middle of the left half of the front of your mat. Right foot steps back for Warrior One, only so far as you can still feel the outside of the foot connected with the floor. Hips face forward. Engaging the right hip to press keep that right hip pointing forward. Let's inhale, arms rise up overhead. And breathe here, extending. Feeling this both strong legs here. Take another big inhale here. On the exhale, bring your hands around back. Let's clasp the fingers. You can point the index fingers and the thumb, roll the shoulders on the back. Coming into our humble warrior, we begin to bend forward. Left shoulder comes to the left knee. Arms can come up overhead. And you just look back. You're bowing down. One more big inhale here. On the exhale, lengthen through the spine, rise back up, straighten the front leg. Take a small step forward with the back foot. You also might want to point it more forward for our pyramid pose. Let's put our hands on our hips. Both hips are pointing forward, and we're just going to extend through the spine and begin to fold over the left leg. Make sure to engage your quads on the left side. Try to pull that left kneecap up. We can feel nice lengthening happening in the back side of the leg. One more big breath here. On the exhale, rise and step forward to Tadasana. Very good. Now for a little bit of balance. Bring all of your weight into your left foot. And let's bend that right leg and catch the foot with the right hand. Opening up the quad here. Left arm rises, palm facing forward. And begin to kick the hand into the foot. One more big breath here. And let's gently come back to Tadasana. Excellent work. Okay, now let's go ahead and practice our tree pose. Again, keeping the left foot, bringing all our weight in the left foot. Right leg rises, and let's put that branch on the tree. Foot connects anywhere but the knee. Hands can be at the heart center. If you want a little bit of arm movement with me, let's inhale, our arms rise up overhead. Exhale, bring the arms around back. Hands clasp. Index and thumbs point. Roll the shoulders on the back and look up a little bit. Nice. Gently bring the knee around front, hug it in, and let's let that leg go back down to the floor. Excellent. Same thing, opposite side. This time, bring your right foot to about the middle half of the right side of your mat. Left foot steps back for your warrior one. Again, only so far back as you can feel the outside edge of the foot on the floor. Once you have your hips pointed forward, legs are nice and strong. Let's inhale, arms up overhead. Breathe here. Really feel that strong structure of your legs here. On your next exhale, bring the hands around back. Clasp the fingers. You can point the index finger and the thumb. Open the chest and begin to fold forward for your humble warrior. Right shoulder to right knee. Bow your head. And you're looking back beyond the back foot. On your next inhale, bring yourself back up to your warrior one. And let's take a small step in for that pyramid pose. Straightening the back foot out a bit too helps. Again, hips are facing forward. We'd really like to balance ourselves between the 2 feet here. Let's take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, folding. Engage those right quads. Legs are really strong. Breathe into the back of the front of your right leg, back of the right leg. On an inhale, bring yourself back up to standing. And let's step forward into our Tadasana or mountain pose. Hands by our sides, preparing for Vasanta Rajasana on the left. Bend the left knee and grab the foot with the left hand. Right arm rises, palm is pointing up. We can begin just with a nice quad stretch here by engaging the left quads, pressing the left hip forward. And when you're ready, you can begin to kick that foot into the hand. Reaching forward, playing with your center of gravity. And when you're ready, gently come back to a stand. Let's work our way back down to our mats, to a seated position. Nice. It's time for us to come to lying on our back. If you would like to roll up and down your mat, it feels very nice, or you can just lie back gently as we prepare for our bridge pose. So we'll all meet up lying on our back, bottom of the feet on the floor. Bring the hands down by the sides. Fingers can just barely graze your heels here. Keeping the shoulders on the floor.
Press into the feet and let's lift the hips. You can clasp hands underneath the back and walk the shoulders in, or alternatively, you can just point your fingers up and walk your shoulders in underneath you. Engage the glutes and open up the front side of the body here. And on an exhale, release yourself back down to the floor. Let's take our feet out to the edge of the mat and then let the knees fall to the left and look over the right shoulder. Then using your core, bring the knees back up through the middle, let them fall to the right and look over the left shoulder. And we can windshield wiper the legs back and forth a couple times. And let's set up for bridge pose again. Bringing our feet back into position, shoulders are on the mat, pressing into the feet, lift the hips. Using either arm variation. And on your next exhale, gently lower back down to the floor. And again, walk the feet out to the edge of the mat and let's let our knees fall together, resting. And put one hand on your abdomen, one hand on your heart. All right, let's hug our knees in and then gently roll yourself back up to a seat. And let's plant the floor. We'll do our seated pigeon here. Plant the bottom of the feet on the floor. Hands come behind you. And let's start by taking the right foot, put the ankle over the top of the left thigh. There you go. And flex that right foot. And then we're looking to get into the piriformis muscle on the right side. So you can gently walk your hands in, walk your feet in until you get that nice, deep glute lengthening. I'm going to continue to work the right knee away from you as you continue to work your right shoulder closer to the knee. So you inhale, lengthen through your spine. Okay, keeping our legs in the same orientation, let's get ready for our twist. Let's just lift our legs and take that left heel to the right hip. The bottom of the right foot goes to the floor outside your left thigh. Right hand comes around to the floor near the base of the spine. Let's inhale, left arm rises. On the exhale, let's twist. We can hug that right leg. If you prefer, your arm can come in front of the right leg. And continue With your breathing pattern here, inhale, make length in the spine. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. This twist removes toxins. It helps to cleanse your systems. On your next exhale, come around to the opposite side.
Do a small counter twist.
And then let's reset for the opposite side. So we bring our feet back to the floor in front of us. This time the left ankle comes to the thigh right above the right knee. Keep the left foot flexed. We're going deep into the glutes on the left side now. So continue to work the left knee away from your torso as you work your body closer. Extend through the spine. Nice. Keeping our legs in the same orientation, let's move into position for our twist on the opposite side. The left heel, right heel comes to the left hip. The left foot plants on the floor outside the right thigh. Left hand comes to the floor at the base of the spine. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale, twisting. The right arm can hug the left thigh. Or if you prefer, the arm can come in front of the thigh. As you inhale, remember to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twisting. Looking over the shoulder. Chin is parallel to the floor. So I'll take just a moment and press the left big toe into the floor. Experience that. And on your next exhale, take a counter twist. Gently. We'll unwrap our legs. Gently lie back down on the floor. Setting up for a shoulder stand. Again, let's bring our knees into our chest and then rolling up, catch the low back with the hands. While you're in shoulder stand, continue to look straight up. Lots of adjustments here. You can do leg variations, wide-legged straddle, or Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together. If you'd like to move into the plow, the feet begin to come overhead. Hands stay near the low back. If the feet touch the floor, you can clasp the hands and press them into the mat. And you can gently unwind whenever you're ready. Coming back to flat on the mat. Now we can hug our knees in. Maybe rock back and forth. Let's reach our arms in between our knees and using our peace fingers, grab your big toes for your happy baby. Work to keep your sacrum and your shoulders attached to the floor for a moment in this stretch. Bringing the knees to the armpits. Maybe you want to rock back and forth a little bit. Feels good. Straighten one leg and then the other. And let's hug our knees back into our chest. And go ahead and lengthen out on your mat. Straighten out the legs. Let the feet fall to the side. Let your shoulders rest on the mat. Put your arms out to the side, palms facing up. And on your next exhale, feel the ground reaching up to support you. And let it hold you. For the end of practice today, you can stay here in Shavasana, or if you prefer to come to a seated position for any reason, you absolutely can. For a moment, a quiet moment to assimilate the practice. I'll watch the time for us and ring a bell in just a few moments. Let's reach both arms overhead and stretch your right side, left side.
And if you're in Shavasana, roll to the right side. Using your strong left hand, press yourself up to a seat. We bring our hands to our heart center. And bow your head down. Thank yourself for coming to today's practice, meeting yourself on the mat, and a little bit of love. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Have a great week.
Namaste.
Bye, sweetie. Have a good day.
Bye, Mom. I love you.
Love you too.